Hello, YouTube. This is one and only Damien Moody, and the reason why I'm not going to say any other names I go by is because I just decided to do something called Welcome to My Life, and Welcome to My Life is going to be videos throughout days, months. I don't know how long I'm going to do it, but I want to share what I remember from my life story. And share stories about my life, what I went through, everything I can remember. Now, mind you, I'm not going to tell everything because I don't remember a lot of shit, and also there might be some things I don't want to tell and give to YouTube. But the reason why I decided to do Welcome to My Life is because I just felt like maybe if I tell my life story, I'll get a lot of love, I would get a lot of support, I would get a lot of um maybe subscribers would come in more and things like that. So not just that, I just feel like my story may help some people. I'm pretty sure some people may judge and talk shit, but my story may I'm gonna help some people who probably going to the same thing as me or things similar as me and whatever. So how should I start this? Now, for those who don't know, my name is Damien Christopher Moody. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, December 4th, 1992. Um, my mom name is Marcy. My biological father name is Alan, and my stepfather name was Edward. Um, I have hold up. I have five brothers and one sister. I have a list of nieces and nephews. Um, I have a lot of aunts, uncles, and whatever. And so, anyway, like I said, I'm not going to tell everything because there's some things I don't remember. So, I'm going to just share some things I want to share. And it's either things I don't remember or things I'm not comfortable with sharing. So, I'm going to just share some things I want to share. Now, from what I remember about being young, I grew up with Arnold Chiari malformation. And I'm not too sure what it is. Y'all, I mean, I'll have to probably do a lot of research and figure out what type, if I'm type 1 or type 2 or whatever. Um, but I grew up as a baby. I was born with Arnold Chiari malformation. I believe that's what it was that I seen on papers about this, what's going on with my health and things. So yes, I was in and out. I mean, I had my hospital moments. I had my surgeries. I hmm, still go through things to this day where I get headaches. I get numbness in my body. Sometimes my arm hurts. Sometimes my back hurts. Sometimes my fingers get numb quickly, or I get Charlie horses and stuff. And like, it's a lot that goes on with that. I have a lazy eye, which is this one right here, which is my right eye. I'm legally blind as well, so that meant I can barely see. It's very blurry, and this eye moves around on its own sometimes. Anyway, yes, I had brain leakages. I had a lot of health things going on with growing up throughout my life. Um, and yes, I have gotten eye surgery once on this eye, but I guess the surgery ain't work because my eye is back to where it was before the surgery. So I don't even know why the hell I waste my time with that eye surgery. Um, it's fucked up too. But so growing up, From what I remember, my biological father was not always in my life. I would say he had some years. He was in and out. He was always in jail. Stories I heard, he was a drug dealer. He was in and out of jail. He had his own life. I just remember like he was in my life for like a few years. Then my mom went on to do her own thing with different people. Um, and then eventually she met my stepfather. I am the I am the third child, so I already had an older brother who was the first child. His name is David. Then I had my sister Gabrielle. And she's my only sister. Well, I don't know for sure because I don't know. I only know about a son my biological father had, but I don't know. I don't remember any of his other children or if he had any other children. So forgetting him, um, yeah, I so you already know how much children my mama had. Um, so I was living in West Philly. I was born and raised a West Philly baby. Um, most of my life. Then throughout my life, I was in Southwest Philadelphia, North Philadelphia. I lived in Darby, PA, for most of my life. So I was just moving around, baby. I mean, moving around, child, growing up, and then it wasn't always easy. I mean, like I went through a lot. Like throughout my life, I went to the most craziest schools. I was going through a lot of personal shit in my life, and I just feel like all the personal shit I was going through from being born all the way until the age of 25, which I am now and counting. I went through a lot of shit, and I just felt like all the personal shit that I was going through at home, like the neighborhoods I was living in, being bullied, the beatings and what abusive. I mean, yeah, somewhat abusive. I'ma just keep it real. I just feel like it was very abusive most of the time, and I'll tell y'all why in a moment. So it's somewhat abusive. The neighborhoods I lived in, the people I was around, I known about a lot way before it was near my time to know about some of the shit I can say I known about. I've been around drug dealers, I've been around crackheads, I've been around people who done drugs, I've been around alcoholics, I've been around prostitutes, I've been around strippers, I've been around abused women, I've been around probably abused men. I've been around so much shit, and I just felt like I was growing up way before it was near my time to grow up because I just felt like I was always around adults more than I was around children. And then it was like Southwest and North Philly and shit. Keep it real. I did not have the most perfect relationship with my stepfather. My biological father was not always in my life. Like I spent years and years without him. I just remember growing up for a few years, and then he was on a long ass break. Then when I was 9 years, he popped up again, and I asked him for some. He gave me some money, and my stepdad was already in my life, so he popped up. He gave me some money. I think it was him and an uncle or two. I was 9 years old. I was living in Darby, PA, on Main Street. I think the address was 502 Main Street, in in Darby, PA, next to a Queen of Peace or whatever. Um, and I just remember him. I just remember asking him for some skates, which I've never got. And then, like, I think probably like when I was on Main Street, then I moved to I think it was called Darby Terrace. Um, when I moved to Darby Terrace, I remember the last time I talked to my father, even heard his voice. Other than many years later when I'm on Facebook searching him up and I heard his voice and knowing more information about him and whatever. And it took me years to do that. So so yeah, I asked him for some skates and I never got them, and we talked for a while, he left. Then years later he would tell about some he did this and he did that, and we talked on the phone, and I remember I was with my baby with a babysitter. And the babysitter name was Miss Pauline. Pauline. I just remember she was babysitting us. My mom was probably at work or doing her. My stepdad was doing him, whatever. So I don't even remember the full conversation, but I just remember telling him how much upset I I just remember telling him how I was upset, and I don't know what everything I said, but I just hung up the phone. And then I think like maybe the next day or so, he called my mom, and I didn't talk to him, but they had their conversation. I don't remember everything that was said or what he was saying, what she was saying, but that was the last time. So it was years and years and years, and it was like this man ain't contact me. I got sick and tired of hearing other aunts and uncles talk about how they knew my uncles, and they was always telling me stories about my uncles and aunts I had on his side and telling me stories about him. And I was like, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it, because at the end of the motherfucking day, y'all sitting here forcing me to say that my stepfather is my father and shit like that. But then y'all sitting here talking your dad this and your uncle that and your uncle this and your uncle that. And it's like, look, I don't have two fucking fathers. I'm not about to sit here and be calling another man daddy over and over and over, daddy, 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 daddy. But then y'all wait till he's not around and y'all tell him, well, your daddy and your uncle and your uncle and your uncle. And like most of the time, I think he might have been around. They is always mentioning stories about my uncles and shit. And I was like, at the end of the day, I don't fucking care. I don't want to hear it. Because at the end of the day, y'all not bringing me to this man who's my biological father. Y'all not going to show me my fucking uncles and let them know where I'm at, where to come see me. I went through all this shit. Now y'all wait till I'm grown, and now y'all want to say, "Oh, your uncle this, your uncle that, your daddy, your uncle." So it took me so many motherfucking years of, and Facebook is where I started. Like, I don't want to tell too much business. I don't want to tell too much business about how. Like, I really don't. I'm trying to see how can I keep this clean without telling too much business. I don't want to tell how much. I'm gonna just say I talked to someone who first I knew about for so many years. Don't remember if I met him in person, but I knew him about someone for so many years. Then I found out we was related by my biological father. He was one of my uncle's sons and whatever. And that me talking to him gave me more information. And then listening to my mom finally tell me how to search up this person, that person, my aunts, and tell me how to find this person, that person. So, um, I'm gonna just say, Alvin Phillips was never in my life, really. He was only in my life for a few years. That's my father name, Alvin Phillips, for those who want to know. So, I just got sick and tired of hearing your daddy this, your daddy that, your uncle this, your uncle that. But then I'm sitting here calling my stepfather my father and accepting his family and accepting him through all the good and bad and the ugly and the shit he put my mom through, the shit he put us through, and the shit he really put me through. I would just keep it like this. So moving on, before I get back to that story, moving on, I went to some crazy ass schools. I don't remember every school I went to, but I just realized I'ma just put it like this. Every school I went to, I had bully or I had a bully. Or I had bullies. Staff members and students. I went through being bullied. I went through being abused. I went through chipped teeth. I went through bloody noses. I went through bloody mouth. I went through being thrown around. I went through being beat on, spit on, punched on. I still got a missing tooth in my mouth, a chipped tooth in my mouth, fucked up teeth in my mouth. I went through a lot. I went through a whole lot. In every fucking school I went to. And I don't know if I told this story on YouTube. I might have told it on Facebook, but the first bully I remember. Now I had bullies. Don't get me wrong, I had bullies throughout my life. But I'm just talking about the bullies I remember. The first bully I can fully remember, I don't remember her name, but yes, I the first bully I remember was a girl. I remember being in Walnut Elementary School, which is somewhere in Darby, PA, I'm guessing. I remember being in Walnut Elementary School, and I don't remember if it was Miss DeSantis' class or Miss Bova class, but it was this girl. And I'm pretty sure we had a lot more incidents than what I remember, but this one incident I remember is um like I only had one female bully. I had a lot of male bullies, but one female bully that I can remember. So anyway, let me get to this story. You know, I might have some more female bullies. I gotta remember. But anyway, let me get to this story. So, um, I remember one incident. We was at lunch, and the lunch cafeteria rules were you have to play 7 up, meaning you have to put your head down on the desk like you know like how you be in classroom and you put your head down on the desk and act like you sleep so you ain't gotta do no work or whatever. So it's not the desk, it's the lunch table. Big ass table. Every like we got several tables. Every classroom got their table or tables. La 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 la. Whatever. So the line is the whole cafeteria. Everybody in the class, in the cafeteria, had to put their head down on the table and put their thumb up. Somebody, I don't know if it's a staff member or a student, will have to walk around the whole cafeteria and push your thumb down. And once they put your thumb down, that means you are allowed to get up and either start eating your lunch if you pack the lunch in your lunch box or whatever, or you can go get some lunch provided by the school. And the women and maybe some men who worked in the cafeteria and supplied the food or whatever. You had free chocolate milk and free regular milk. But you had to pay for the strawberry milk and all the juices and snacks or whatever, which I didn't fucking agree with. Anyway, so I was one of those kids. Like I said, I had my bullies. A lot of shit was going on in my home life, so I feel like I was bringing a lot of my home life and shit I was going through in school. So I wasn't participating. I was a kid who was like, I'm not about to sit here and waste an hour. Minutes and minutes of my lunchtime where I can't eat nothing because y'all want me to put my head down, wait till a fucking student who got a whole bunch like a full school full of fucking students, younger and older students. And we gotta wait for this one fucking student, this one staff member to walk around the goddamn tables and push our thumb down for us to finally be able to fucking eat. No. I'm going to start eating. So I was that student. Boy, oh boy, did I get in trouble and did I get to school in trouble. So they realized my motive. Or is that how I mean, was that the correct way of saying? Well, I don't know if that's the correct way of that. So I'm gonna switch the words around because I don't know if that was the correct way of me saying what I was trying to say. That word just popped up in my head. So yeah, but anyway, let me switch my words around. Cause anyway, they realized that I had the intention of doing something and setting the record straight. Bam. And I wasn't participating. I didn't feel like it was right. So there's like, oh, so since Damien wants to be the class clown, the cafeteria clown, if Damien don't put his head down and put his thumb up, the whole classroom and the whole cafeteria will have to wait until Damien finally participates. I participated a few times, but after a while, they never got me to participate. I didn't feel like it was right. So I don't know if that school still do the whole 7 Up thing, but I had like I was bad as hell in that school. So throughout all the shit I went through, the bullies, the times I got in trouble, the times I had to go in different classrooms and sit in a bad chair and face the wall, all this shit I went through in Walnut, I got expelled from Walnut because after a temper tantrum I had where I destroyed the whole classroom, I was in Miss Bova classroom. I destroyed the whole goddamn classroom. I was having a temper tantrum, going through shit in my personal life and shit I was going through in school. And the principal called her motherfucking self. The principal called herself coming. Her name is Miss Brown. So she called herself coming to the classroom. They couldn't put me in no other classrooms or nothing. So she called herself coming in the classroom, gripped me up by my shirt like she was my mama, and called herself dragging me from out the classroom down the hall, trying to drag me to the principal office. So I'm like, this bitch is choking me. I suffer from Arnold Chiari malformation. I have a lot of disabilities. I'm going through a lot. I'm going through being bullied. I went through my kind of abusive, crazy household, whatever. And this bitch is choking me by my shirt to the point I can't fucking breathe. And I'm already, and when I was young, I was suffering from headaches and shit, and body numbness and body pains and shit like that. So I cannot fucking breathe. Plus, I got fucking asthma, and my asthma does get crazy at times. So this bitch just fucking choked me. I can't fucking breathe. So the only thing I can do is move my fucking feet, because like my eyes are dead and roll in the back of my head. I'm dead as serious. I kid you not. Only thing I remember moving is my fucking feet. So and this bitch was heavyweight. She was like, I'm trying to think. She was like from what I remember, she was like a Kelly Price. Now y'all know how Kelly Price was, her weight was in a friend of mine video. And I'm not like on some real ass shit. This is what I remember her as. She is a brown. I remember her being a brown skinned woman. I don't remember how her hair was or what she had on. But I just remember her being like a kind of chocolate brown skinned woman. And she's dragging me by my fucking shirt, choking me with the shirt fucking neck tightly. I kicked the shots, bitch, dead in her fucking stomach. I don't know if I kicked her in the stomach. Well, they say I kicked her in the stomach, but I don't know if I kicked her in the stomach or groin area. So I'm gonna just say stomach. And that kick got me expelled. That school ain't want nothing to do with me. I kicked the woman. I kicked the principal. Now I'm pretty sure students have had their fair share fighting with the teachers or whatever, but I kicked the fucking principal. That school wanted nothing to do with me. They didn't want me on school grounds. They wanted nothing to do with me. So I've been in several schools before, but with Walnut, they couldn't handle me. After Walnut, I think I looked for some other schools for me, and then I went to community school. I don't fully remember all the shit that I went through in community school, but I will say I had some female and male bullies. Alright, so I'm gonna just tell you a story I remember. So yeah, they had behavior room. It was the guys in the behavior room. It was one room for the guys to sit in. And then in this one room, which was very short, and I think it had like a bench for all the male staff members to sit in. And this one room was another room. I remember it being dark with one little light, a very little light. I remember it being dark, and I remember the walls being like probably carpetish or something. It was like purple or something, or like a velvet. I'm trying to remember. And it was this door, and it had this small window like a jail cell or something. And I remember I hate that fucking room because it was a long ass door, and one side had a doorknob, and the other side, the side the staff members was on, had a doorknob. The other side, which I was on, being the badass, I got locked in this room, ain't had no doorknob. So I thought it would be clever to use my belt buckle because I had on the belt. I already kicked my shoes off, throwing it at the staff members, and they throwing it back, and they ain't getting my shoes back. They locked me in the room by myself. So I remember I had on this belt and had a big belt buckle. Oh my god, my body hurt. And I'm just banging on the window, trying to break that shit, trying to find any motherfucking way to get out that room. So they took my belt. So I'm just kicking, screaming, throwing shit. Oh, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, I had a friend named Asia who later on would happen to meet my sister and become her friend. So there's many times where the behavior room couldn't handle me, so it's a lot of goddamn times that I would find myself being stuck in the hallway, and Asia was the only person in school that could calm me down, the only friend I had. I probably had some male friends and some other female friends, but I don't remember. I just remember Asia being one of my friends. She is way older than me, probably around the same age as my sister. But she was my friend, and she watched out for me because she was going through her shit. I was going through mine. So boom, that's community school. And I remember another incident where I think something's wrong with my health. I think I was like my blood too high or whatever, and I damn near passed out of school and had to go to the hospital or whatever. So that's the only two stories I remember from um that's the only stories I'm going to share from community school that I remember. After community school and me attacking staff members and shit like that, I was homeschooled for a while. I went to Bell Avenue, and then when I went to Bell Avenue, which was somewhere in Darby, I think. I don't remember where Bell Avenue was. I think it was Darby, or it might have been somewhere else near Darby. But I went to Bell Avenue, and I only went there for a few days, but got kicked out because the staff members didn't know what to do with me. And all I was doing was going there to get on the computer for a few hours, and then I came the fuck home. So I was homeschooled for a while. With this, I think I had these two women named Denise and Heather, and they used to talk to me and shit. Then we used to go out to like Pizza Hut and shit like that. And then I had this white lady. I don't remember her name. It was an old white lady with glasses and blonde curly hair. And she used to take me to the library, and we used to read. Like we used to do something little, like a little sheet of paperwork. Then we used to read a book. And then after that, eventually they didn't know what to do with me. So I was going around school. They was trying to find schools for me. They was trying to put me in the school for the blind or disabled, whatever. That ain't work. So my fucking mama decided to put me in a Delta school. Let me tell y'all about this. Let me tell y'all about this. This is where all hell happened. This is where all hell happened. So I went to Delta school late December 2000. I'll tell y'all the address of Delta school. The school is located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 3515 Woodhaven Road. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19154. I remember this picture well. And I remember the school. I said the picture. I remember the school well. And I'm looking at the pictures already. Yep, I remember the school very goddamn well. So I remember. I'm not going to say everybody's name, but I remember. I still remember some staff members. Some staff members, some students, or whatever. So I went. So I was in school, the Delta school. I remember being in Delta school from um late December 2000 all the way to June of 2013. Yeah, June 2013 because my dad died in 2014. June 2013. Um, Delta was fucking crazy. Delta put my life through a living hell. Delta is the reason why I graduated at the age of 20. Delta, Delta, Delta. Stories I can tell y'all about Delta. It would take me forever in the goddamn day. And I would have to give y'all my Delta stories another fucking time. Cause I don't know how many parts to this Welcome to My Life I'm going to do. But I would have to tell y'all I have to really give y'all the real scoop about Delta. All I can say is that I went through hell. I went through hell. I went through hell. And it started off with my teacher being a white woman named Miss Kennedy or Kennedy, something like that, and Mr. Marion Wilson, the late Mr. Marion Wilson. I can just say that I had to get used to Miss Kenny or Kennedy. I know it's something with a Kenny or Kennedy or something. Was it Kenny or Kennedy? It was something. I know it had something to do with a Ken, her last name. And I remember Mr. Marion Wilson. So I'm gonna just say Miss K. So I didn't like her from the jump, from what I remember. And that led me getting in a lot of trouble in the Delta school. I had my first few days where I was calm and nervous. Like when I first went to Delta school, I already knew it was not the school for me. It was one day, maybe in November, maybe December, like maybe November. I don't remember what month it was, but I just remember when I first walked into Delta School to see if Delta School my mom would choose for me, I knew walking through the gym room, the art room, and all the rest of the reading room, the computer room, the music room, and all the other goddamn places. I knew that was not the school for me. I would not be comfortable in that school. I just seen a lot of older kids that was way older than me at the goddamn time. They was like in their 18, 19, 20, 16, 17. I just feel like, no, this is not the school for me. I do not belong here. I don't belong here. I was scared like shit. I'm telling you, I was scared like shit. It was like I felt like there's two things I felt like walking in Delta for the first time. I felt like the Maury show, the Maury Povich show, and I felt like Beyond Scared Straight. I felt like with the Maury Povich show, I felt like when you got on badass kids who spent their years or whatever being bad, and they finally get to the Maury Povich show and they tell their stories and they curse and fuck you, suck my dick, la la la. And then that big ass, muscular ass man come out and scare asses, send their asses to a prison or a group home, whatever. And then I felt like Beyond Scared Straight. Beyond Scared Straight because felt like I was walking to a prison to scare my ass. I was gonna go there and stay there, but I had to stay there for a day. Oh my god. So let me fucking tell y'all. I was scared shit. I knew that was not the fucking school for me. I knew it wasn't. That was not the fucking school for me. But my mom sent me there any motherfucking way. I had some tough ass staff members. I had tough ass students. And from that point on, I lasted only a few days. Then I started letting the fucking home life get to me. I had staff members beating on me. I had students beating on me. I had went through some shit, and I had, like I said, I had to tell you about the Delta stories. This is only part. I had to tell you about the Delta stories another time, but um, I was in the Delta school from late December 2000 all the way until June 2013. So I was probably like at least 9 or 10 when I went to the Delta school. Yeah, I was probably like 9 or 10 when I went to the Delta school. And I was 20 when I left. I remember it starting off, I was nervous as hell. I was a new kid. I was in a new classroom. Starting off, getting on the goddamn bus to get to school. Students was near fucking liking me. I was having problems at first. Like, they was giving me problems on the bus. Then as soon as we got to the classroom, then everybody wanted to start trying to act like they like me or whatever. And I just remember, Miss K, she was a regular teacher. And then Mr. Wilson, I remember him trying to make sure I was comfortable. He was asking me questions about myself, walking me around the school, introducing me to people, whatever. Mr. Wilson was somebody I looked to as like a father figure from the jump. And there was times I'll admit, I used to call him dad. And eventually throughout the years, his son, Mr. Wilson, came to work at the school, and we had a close relationship because he knew about my relationship with his father, and I'm pretty sure his father used to talk about me all the goddamn time. And when he came working at school, me and Mr. Khalil was like brothers. And so that's that. Um, so it took a while. So at first, Mr. Wilson was nice. After a while, when everybody got used to Damien Christopher Moody, it just seems like all hell broke loose. I was like, me and Mr. Wilson did not have the most perfect relationship. We had many fun times together. It was like I'm just admit, it was like a crazy relationship. It was like we had a lot of fun times together. And I remember a lot of good memories about Mr. Wilson. But I just felt like him taking like I looked at him like a father figure. So I just felt like him taking this father figure role. And we used to play around. I used to call him dad or whatever. And he used to be like, "Well, if you do this, I will take you out. I'll see if the school let me take you out to the mall across the street, and we'd go to food court or whatever. And I would get you some cake. Some cheesecakes or whatever, what shit that I ate or probably didn't eat or whatever. So anyway, um, so it was many times where me and Mr. Wilson did not get along. So I'll be acting up, and he was like, I turned. He will put his hands on me. I've been choked by Mr. Wilson. I've been dragged by Mr. Wilson by my clothes. I've been hit by Mr. Wilson. I've been yelled at. He was like a real Ike. I'm telling you, we was like Ike and Tina. Everything was fine and dandy at first, and we had our good moments. But we was like Ike and Tina, and like we wasn't in a relationship. It was just staff and student who I looked at him like a father figure. We used to play around. I used to call him dad or whatever. Because I felt at around that time, I just felt like I ain't had no father figure. My stepdad was doing his shit, and I ain't have a good relationship with him at the time. So I was in school looking for that father figure role. I had my uncles and great grandpapa and whatever, but I really wanted a father. So I looked at Mr. Wilson like a dad. But it just went too goddamn far when he started putting his hands on me and shit. He didn't care if I was sick. He didn't care if I was throwing up. He didn't care if I had chipped tooth. He didn't give a fuck. It just seems like there's many goddamn times where I'll be choked, I'll be dragged, I'll be forced to go into the Delta behavioral role. The behavior staff was putting their hands on me. And he wasn't the only one. I had many staff members. I had many students older than me who thought it was okay to beat on me and put their hands on me. I done been punched, I done been kicked, I done been dragged, I done been choked, I done been a lot of things. Let's just say I was fucking bullied and abused. And no one was doing nothing about it. They would act like they'd do something about it and act like they'd come to school and I come on and tell stories. But no one was fucking doing any fucking thing about it. I went through so fucking much. And it just got to the point where I got sick and tired of stories. I just letting the shit fucking happen. Letting the shit fucking happen. I let me Mr. fucking Anthony. Mr. fucking Anthony. What the fuck was his last name? Mr. fucking Anthony. I'm mad because I probably won't ever be able to find his fucking name on his goddamn website. They switched the Delta website around. Y'all little bum asses need some fucking donation. Toss some donate. 215-632-5904. I should prank call their asses. So somebody named Joanne Smith is the executive assistant. I'm trying to see if they will give me his name. Miss Hope Shingles was assistant CEO. She was the damn principal. So now y'all saying that Miss Hope Shingles was assistant CEO. She been she been left at school. You know, I'm about to have to end this video because I'm talking. So I will get back to y'all in the next one.